Hello scholars, welcome back to the Kemet Maasai Academy. We're looking at an exam is not the time to take chances as we continue our series of motivational videos for students. Of course, I'm reading from the Student's Master Plan, Hardcore Rules for a Lifetime of Success. Alright, an exam is not the time to take chances. Give the examiner what he wants. No arguments, no far-fetched conclusions, no out-of-worldly suggestions. The world loves a rebel, though the world pretends not to. In my personal life, I have never been a part of the pack. I often see things much differently from the people that I find myself among, and I have always followed my heart. I often see things much differently from the people that I find myself among, and I have always followed my heart. Therefore, as a teacher, I encourage my students to do independent thinking and to respectfully and rationally challenge what is accepted as true, since it so often turns out, after all, to not be true, as we have seen. So the classroom, among other things, should be a place where debate and discussion are encouraged and facilitated. Not so in the exam. The examination, whether internal or external, is never the place to challenge anything. The examination is not the forum for debate, with the exception of, say, an English language exam, in which you are specifically asked to choose a topic, take a position, and argue your point. Fine. But don't go into an exam and argue about theories, procedures, and established academic facts. The eye of the examiner has been trained to zero in on established academic facts, and presenting information other than established facts is playing dice with fate. Sure, you may be lucky enough for your paper to fall into the hands of that one single examiner with the liberalness and objectivity that you seek. But why play dice with your grades? When you get to the level of the examiner, then you can write as many theses of rebellion as you see fit. The world will love you for it, even if they pretend not to. Now, this was an inspiration from a speech that I heard many years ago, given by the late Dr. Joseph Ben Yakanan, which we affectionately call Dr. Ben. So Dr. Ben was an historian, Egyptologist, lecturer at a university, and so on. And I remember him saying, because Dr. Ben, paved the way for so many of us in terms of, unearthing African history, the origin of civilization. And so he went against the grain. He challenged many of the so-called established facts about Africans and their role in world civilization. And Dr. Ben was considered to be a very controversial person. I remember him saying, however, that when you are writing your exam, so you're at high school or college or wherever, you're writing your exam, give the examiner what he wants. And this is coming from someone who is a very controversial person, going against the grain, challenging the so-called facts for as long as he was on the planet, really, because he started in the 30s, in the 1930s. We lost Dr. Ben just a few years ago, and he was adamant pretty much up to his death about these matters. And here was he saying, no matter what opinions you hold, no matter what truths you have unearthed that are contrary to the establishment, when you are in the situation, so you are part of the mainstream, you are in the situation, in the institution, give the examiner what he wants. And he went as far as to say, if you can find a book that the examiner wrote, quote the book. If you can find a book that the examiner's mother wrote, all the better, quote from that book. Give the examiner what he wants. Outside of the exam, so in the classroom, once your teacher is, of the kind that allows for objective discussion, honest, objective discussion, express your views, express the contradictory things that you see, challenge it in the discussion. Debate it when you're writing your papers, when you're doing your debates, challenge it, yes. But until the facts change in the textbooks and in the mainstream, you really have to give the examiner what he or she is looking for. Because remember, your paper will be marked based on certain criteria. There's a rubric. There's a set list of answers. For example, if it's a multiple choice, there's a set list of answers. And even for the short answer papers, there are particular things that they are looking for. And if you write anything contrary to that, whether you have, it doesn't matter what you have to back it up. If it has not yet made its way into the standardized text, which is what they are going by, you are going to fail. Right? You are going to fail. So you must make that clear distinction between what you hold to be true, what you can prove based on your discoveries, your research, the new information that has come down to you, maybe not yet reached the mainstream, but other persons who have gone out and done work and have published, quote them, debate them in class, ask your professor or your teacher about them, get feedback in the class. But when the time comes for the exam, give them what they want. That's not the time to play hero. That's not the time to play rebel. Because what you're doing is actually gambling with your grade. And the whole point of you being in the institution is to get the paper. Just be practical, be pragmatic. As Dr. Ben would say, when you get the paper, when you get the degree, when you get the PhD, then you can say what you want, because then you are now in charge. Right? So make that clear distinction. While you're working your way up, you're still in the system, you must go by the established facts. And let us all remember that facts change. So-called facts change. You might be the one who will cause the change, but this will come through, this will come when you put yourself in the position where you can effect change. Until then, you have to just play the cards. Just play with this, play the system, play by the rules of the system, because you're in the system. Alright? So that's my take on exams. As liberal-minded as I am, I also try to be pragmatic. Right? And that's my advice to you. If you are thinking outside of the box and open to new research, new information, certainly hold that, argue that out, write books about that if you want, and get yourself in the position where you can actually change the information in the mainstream. Until then, give them what they want. If you have been motivated by this video, please share it so other students can be motivated as well. And remember, the Kemet Maasai Academy is a channel that does not only have motivational videos. We have tons and tons of mathematics videos from grade 4 to grade 11. So I would encourage you to take advantage of these, to share them with as many students as you can so they can benefit, especially those students who you know are struggling with mathematics, and so many students are, even adults, are struggling with mathematics, can't even help their children do their homework. So these are videos that everyone can benefit from, right? So I would encourage you to do that, share them as far and wide as possible, and let us each in our way work to break down that fear of mathematics that so many persons have. We want to dissipate that fear. So share and click like and click the notification bell so you can be alerted when new videos come out. I'll see you in the next video.